If you are someone who likes to be in control and you're always trying to micromanage everything, control every outcome, plan, being OCD, whether in one area of your life or every area of your life, you're gonna be challenged. You are being challenged major this week. If you are into astrology, you would resonate if you've got top Virgo energy placements in your chart. You're gonna feel it big time. So there's a Virgo lunar eclipse this week. I try to keep these details out so everybody can resonate, but anything like with Virgo energy, okay, so it's like super like the extreme, super organized, like super want to control everything, the outcome, and everybody. You are gonna feel the pressure, and things are gonna be happening that they're gonna seem like working against you, and it's gonna feel chaotic, and it's gonna feel unfamiliar, and it's gonna cause fear, it's gonna cause anxiety, discomfort, because it's unfamiliar and you're not used to it. So the reason why all this is happening, and again, it depends where you have it in your chart, it depends which area it's going to affect you. People, different areas, whether it's work, health, relationships, friendships. So it depends. Everybody's different. But the ones who have top Virgos in their charts are going to feel it the most. Okay, so I'm seeing this with a lot of people, the clients and all that. So the more you have the need to be in control and want to control things and people and outcomes, the more you're going to be challenged. Why? Because this is a major lesson, energies that are happening this week and for the next 18 months, started in January, because you are going to be challenged. Most likely you started feeling it like around January, but it's going to intensify this week, and then it's just going to continue to let go, to surrender, to trust the bigger picture, to have faith in God, that just because things don't seem like they're working out in this now moment, trust, allow, surrender, let go, believe that things are working out for you, even though they don't seem like they're working out. Okay, a lot of things are not gonna make sense, and you will not be giving answers right away. Sometimes it takes longer. It depends how in touch you are, in tune, how much you meditate, all that stuff. Like, it depends on your spiritual hygiene. But just to give you an example, so if you've been through situations, like tough situations, so let's go, for example, myself, I don't know, I was in a car accident. It was very traumatic. It was chronic back pain for many, many years. And then, of course, it doesn't seem like a positive thing, right? But then later on, I've learned that it was meant to be, and that it really put me on this path of holistic health. And I started learning about health and holistic, treatments. Same thing like situation with work. So let's say you've been through a situation where you lost your job. At the moment, it sounds tragic, because it's like overwhelming with bills and oh my God, like, what are we gonna do? We're gonna lose everything. But later on, most likely you found a better job, and you realize, you look back, it's like, if you didn't leave that job, you wouldn't have gotten a better position, met new people, right? So then, looking back, you understand that everything is aligned and everything is meant to be, and that God's got the bigger picture. And things might not make sense in the now moment, but they will make sense later on. Like, there's so many situations where people lost their job and then they were forced to start their own business, right? So it's it's similar paths. Same thing like if you went through a divorce and then realize at the time it's chaotic and it's upsetting and it's negative. But then later on you might meet someone better and you're happier, and then you realize that that marriage was not meant for you. Okay, but this is really, really for the people who right now are struggling with control and at being attached to outcomes, because it's really, 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 really hard, because these people, and I've got 5 Virgos in my chart, so I have this energy. Same thing with perfectionism, they all go hand in hand. I had to work through that. Like trying to control outcomes and wanted to go the way you want to go. Look, the key is balance. So yes, we do need to plan, we do need to be organized and have plans. However, it needs to be balanced with flow and surrender. So for example, if you're planning to travel and you are gonna follow your flight and you get there early, get there on time, you're planning, you're putting your effort, your work. However, the flight is canceled, right? That's calling you to surrender and let go of the outcomes and attachment, and trusting that it's working out for your highest timeline, for your best interest. Because what if you have gotten on that flight and things would have gone wrong? So it could be another situation. For example, you're running late for an appointment, you forgot, you can't find your keys, and you're looking for your keys and you're going crazy because you need control and you're controlling everything. And then, because you couldn't find your keys and you are running late, right? You end up finding out later that you missed an accident. Okay, so these are perfect examples of the energies that are going on right now. And then you realize, and hopefully thank God and the universe, that you being late and not finding the key was for your highest good, and it was God, your angels, the universe, whoever you want to call, your higher self was watching out for you. But in that moment, you are so in control and you want to make sure that you're not late, that you're going in a frantic, right? So the universe is going to present you with these situations to learn. Yes, plan appointments, need to plan. However, there are things you don't have control on. So this is about going within, and I can create a checklist for you guys if it makes it easier. I can make it like a PDF, or I don't know, like whatever, if anyone has suggestions, to see what you have control on. Okay, so there are things we have control on. That's our inner world, our emotions, like out, on ourselves. There are other things, a lot of other things we don't have control over. We don't have control on the weather. We don't have control on how other people feel, because they're responsible for their feelings. We don't have control on the government. We don't have control on traffic, so know the difference. It's really, really important. So maybe if we create a checklist and go through the checklist every time you feel this attachment and control and OCD and being stuck in your mind, and look at it and you're like, okay, it's reminding you, do I have control on the situation right now? And if the answer is no, this is beyond me, beyond my control, then you say, okay, I'm going to surrender. I'm going to detach. I'm going to give it to God, the universe, my higher self, angels, whatever you believe in, and I'm going to let it go. All right, it's gonna take practice. You need to practice these. It might not happen overnight to get to this point. Just like I had perfectionism in certain areas of my life, a lot of areas, and I had to work on them. Okay, I had to let them go. I had to surrender. I had to accept them, and I had to be more in the flow, and just like, find a balance. And believe me, once you the more you practice doing this, especially if you're someone with a lot of Virgo energies and you're stuck in your head a lot, once you surrender, okay, once you start working on this, you're gonna feel so much better. You're gonna feel so much peaceful, so much more in the flow, more relaxed, just letting go. And it's just gonna affect all these areas of your life, because the more you're in control, the more you stress, the more you hold on, the more attached, the more stress you're creating, and anxiety and fear. And it's just like this vicious cycle, this loop, right? I always talk about this loop. And of course, if you have OCD, you want to get to the root of your subconscious programs. If you haven't done the work yet, the shadow work, you haven't started, I highly recommend getting to the root first to see where they developed. A lot of times when I work with people with OCD, it's two things. One is not feeling enough, therefore you have to prove yourself, you have to buy your love, you have to be an overachiever and control everything to prove how good you are. At some point you developed this program when you were young, most likely multiple siblings, you know and you have to prove, you had to earn your parents' love. And the other thing with OCD, with control, is that people, especially empaths that have been through a lot in their childhood, and they were born in with dysfunctional parents like alcoholics and just heavy energies, they because there was so much going on their outside that they couldn't control and change, they became OCD, and to shift their energy to start controlling what's in front of them, the little things. So they put all this attention and shift on, okay, I can be obsessive on cleanliness and home and organizing, and on other people, controlling other people. And yes, cleanliness is really good, I love it, and organization is really good, but when it's extreme, then it becomes an issue. Especially, I see this a lot, like with parents who are OCD. I had a client last week, and she shared that her son is showing like this anger and this like perfectionism with sports. So she came to see me, and she's OCD, and I told her, listen, remember, he's 8, which is great, it's very close to 7, right? He's learned everything so far through his subconscious. If he's watched you and took on those OCD programs, he already developed them subconsciously himself. So just to be aware and be mindful and talk to him about it. So let go, balance, ground, meditate, and always ask, when a situation happens, do I have control on the situation? The answer is no, then you surrender.